dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The big talker yesterday was certainly the earthquake felt across southeastern Kentucky. Quakes are more common in Kentucky than you may think, but according to the Kentucky Geological Survey, most are not noticed or felt. So what made Monday's earthquake different? Adam Burniston talked with experts to find out.
According to seismologists with the Kentucky Geological Survey, Monday's 3.8 earthquake that shook much of southern Kentucky happened within the eastern Tennessee seismic zone.
That zone continues into southeastern Kentucky to include that 2012 Perry County earthquake, and it goes all the way down south into Alabama.
And Carpenter says earthquakes can be detected in that zone and even others through Kentucky's Seismic and Strong Motion Network.
We receive recordings from those stations in real time. Then we analyze those recordings, which will tell us when there could have been an earthquake.
Now, not only was Monday's earthquake felt here in Kentucky, but some reports came in from as far away as Atlanta, Georgia. And Carpenter says it's not that uncommon for earthquakes that occur in the eastern half of the United States to be felt further away.
You can be quite a distance away from an earthquake. In fact, about 10 times the distance away in the eastern U.S. compared to the western U.S. and still feel the same level of shaking.
But Carpenter adds that the level of trembles you feel from an earthquake also depends on your location from its epicenter, as they don't produce equal energy in all directions.
For example, you may feel much stronger shaking, but if I look over here at a different azimuth from the earthquake source, they may experience very, very much weaker shaking.
In Lexington, Adam Burniston.
And just to clarify, that 2012 earthquake was centered in Letcher County, but was certainly felt here in Perry County. Now, the strongest earthquake epicenter ever in Kentucky was a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in 1980 in Bath County. It caused millions of dollars in damage to Maysville.
Well, we woke up to those cold temperatures once again and a little bit of snow here on the ground, but that sunshine, well, has melted most of it. We'll go ahead and take you to a view of those cameras. Interstate 75 over into Mount Vernon. You're not seeing a cloud in the sky. And looking over into the Mountain Parkway as that sun starts to set, looking pretty good over there. Roads looking on the drier side. And that snow earlier this morning definitely caused some issues, a little bit of some issues earlier this morning. So take it easy as we head throughout the night tonight, as temperatures really didn't get above freezing. So some of those back roads that maybe haven't seen any of that sunshine today could still be slick for that morning commute. Like I said, temperatures did not get that warm today. We're still on the cold side, upper 20s to lower 30s, a little bit warmer down into the Cumberland Valley. But as we head into the next few days, we're going to start to warm up. More average temperatures are in store for your Wednesday, lower 50s by your Thursday, upper 40s Friday, and then it looks like we'll get another slightly cool down Saturday into your Sunday as our next system moves into the mountains. We'll break down our next rainy system coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. During the colder months, many schools are not in session due to snow, illness, or holiday breaks. Investigators say this can cause some child abuse cases to go unreported. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher went to Judy's Place for Kids today in Floyd County to learn other ways you can help these students.
Sometimes it is not easy to donate money.
You know, of course, monetary donations are always appreciated.
And those at Judy's Place for Kids know the struggle.
But it's really those private donations, the community support that really makes the difference.
Executive Director Laura Kretzer says there are other ways to help.
We can always use paper products like toilet paper, paper towels, Kleenex, cleaning supplies.
Plus, Play-Doh and snacks are always accepted. There's also a program called CASA.
And CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates.
These volunteers visit with the child in family court every 30 days.
We really need more of those caring adults to step up.
What does it cost for a CASA volunteer? Just time.
But really to become a voice for a child who's in family court.
During the colder months, abuse cases slow down.
These children are not around another adult outside of their situation.
So it is vital to train these volunteers to spot signs of child abuse at any stage.
And that if they suspect abuse, that they report it.
keeping Eastern Kentucky kids safe. In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
If you would like to become a CASA volunteer or donate, you can call Judy's Place for Kids at 606-886-8520. People were kept from their homes and a roadway was closed for hours after a propane truck crashed in Lincoln County today. This is a look at the scene. The tanker carrying several thousand gallons of propane flipped on its side. Police say the driver of the truck did suffer some minor injuries and was taken to the Somerset Hospital. Kentucky Vehicle Enforcement investigated the crash scene. The Bluegrass Army Depot in Madison County started destroying nerve agents stored at the facility. More than 500 tons of chemical weapons are being housed at the base. They say the first nerve agent projectile was destroyed Friday. The mustard gas stockpile at the depot started being destroyed last summer. The full chemical weapons stockpile is scheduled to be destroyed by the end of 2023. Transylvania University has announced its next president. Brian Lewis will be the next person to lead the university. Lewis is currently the president of Catawba College in North Carolina. Seamus Carey previously served as the university's president, and John Norton Williams is currently serving as interim president. Lewis will start his term as president on July 1st. Well, how about this story out of New Hampshire? A father killed a coyote with his bare hands to save his son's life. On a walk in the woods, the coyote blindsided the family. The animal snatched his 2-year-old son by the jacket, dragging him to the ground. Luckily, the father's quick thinking likely saved their lives. With only his hands, he suffocated the animal, but he was bitten on his forearm and chest.
I had its snout here, pushed it into the snow. It wasn't really much of a choice.
Others in the area had similar scares with the coyote. O'Reilly says the animal had a will to live, but they did as well. His son suffered very minor injuries. You have a chance to see a local amusement park on a national television show this week. Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville will be featured on an episode of Undercover Boss. Dippin' Dots CEO Scott Fisher spent the day as a team member. He was in disguise as he served guests at one of the park's Dippin' Dots carts. Fisher was trained and supervised by Bailey Richardson. She's a Morehead State student who has worked at the park for the past 3 summers. The episode airs tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the death toll from the new coronavirus in China is rising. See how at JFK International Airport in New York City, some arriving passengers are being screened.
And we have one more very cold night here in the mountains before warmer temperatures are on the way. We'll also talk about those rain chances that return by the end of the work week coming up in just a little bit.
One Pike County student's fight for her faith led to a meeting with the President of the United States.
When you